Hello, Divine Sunshiners. This is Divine Sunshine. If you would like a reading with me, you can go to divinetwinsoul11.com, hit on my services page, hit the book online, and it will lead you to my book online page. For the month of July, I am running a special for 30 minutes. It'll be $11. And for $22, you'll get an hour with me. They'll run all through the month of July. For that, and then when August will come, it will be something different. That kind of touches upon what I want to say for this before we start. This is what I have been doing, and I see that it works. For each month, I take on a theme in which I am. So we'll say for the month of July, it will be joy. So each month, beginning with the letter of the month or whatever, it doesn't have to be that way. Claim what that was. So each day I ask for the universe to give me something to tell me why it is a joy to be here in the universe, and and show ways in which I can be a joy back to the universe. That has truly been working with me. I've told you in the past that I had some problems with being here on earth because I'm so spiritual and staying in the fifth plane and the fourth dimension. Well, more fifth than fourth, because fourth is kind of like an in-between. And so I'm going to pass on that advice to you all as well, is to pretty much take that month, create a theme, and say that is what it's going to be for the rest of the month. My sinuses have been doing a doozy for me. I don't know if it's because I've been out there ever since Anita Baker being out there, Ravinia, out there in the woods, which is good because you're communing with nature and Mother Gaia. Doing that, my sinuses has been off the hizzy with that. Okay, so right now I just want to get into, you can still go to my Instantgo crown, which is gold, divinetwinsoul11.com. You get a reading with either questions, 3 questions, a phone, or video chat as well with that. And I'm still working on the king, getting that together as well. So this is going to be the reading for the Twin Flame Collective. With this one, I've been guided to start off with the journey of love. Did I have my thing? And I'm going to start backwards because I forget every time to do that. 237. I don't think that goes that far, but I'll look and see. It might be on my phone. Journey of love. So let me pull a card clear for us, because right now we should be really practicing self-love and unconditional love on this journey, rather is with our counterparts, ourselves, and the people that are around us as well. So tell me, what is it that you want us to practice on the journey of love? Cosmic Butterfly. Number 36, which is 3, which is the Trinity, spirit, soul, and body, coming in alignment. And 6, which is love. Together makes the number 9, which is really an ending of a cycle, which is what I've told on my other video of my fireside chat for Twin Flames, about how they're now stating that in June 26th, which will be tomorrow, it's supposed to be some kind of turnover event. Some energies supposed to be changing. You probably, this change started from the summer solstice, working its way into now June 26th. Supposed to be some kind of, I don't know, like somebody turned the light switch on, the power on, like I'm seeing like a power plant, and now they turn the switch on. It's going back and forth from one pole to another, and I'm seeing this stream of electricity going from one end. So that could be the divine feminine to divine masculine. And this is what I'm saying, like 2 poles, and the electricity is going back and forth before. So now that's been turned on. Now I don't know, I've heard from a lot of sources, and if I put it together, culminating the theme, because I told you all on my last one, they told me my gift is to observe things, and I can see patterns in a lot of things. And what I am definitely seeing is a pattern of them saying things are going to shift and change between starting from the summer solstice, definitely June 26th. The lights get switched on at the power plant between the divine twin souls, the divine feminine, and the divine masculine, all the way through July 27th. Something supposed to really hit during that blue moon. And you know, blue moons, any kind of moon activities can be felt 3 days before, 3 days after, prior to, or it can be weeks before and weeks after. Keep those things in mind. All the way until it's really coming into completion, all the way up into the fall. I'm picking up the month November for that. And definitely December, you might be reaping the benefits by December. I felt that, and that's what they're saying too. But remember, again, I put a word of caution, because us as Twin Flame collectors, we get a hold of them dates and we like, what happened? He didn't this. So I'm going to say again, like I said, I'm still aligned from somebody else. We expect nothing, but we desire everything. Okay? So we're not coming in expectation and keep on looking. We go on with life. We keep on concentrating on doing ourselves, getting our things together as far as on our mission and our purpose, doing things. I know I have been doing things, trying to shift things as far as in my life, getting some things rolling. And I just said, okay, you know, right now, and they're stating also that the divine masculines are doing the work. It's just underneath the surface. We can't see. I almost see that card that has, it's calm on top, but it's choppy underneath. I don't know which card that is for the tarot. Is that other one? I didn't pull that out. For that, this is what I'm seeing. So now I got a new thing. Now I can see like cards. Sometimes I feel like I'm walking tarot. Regular cards. These cards have been fused. Like I told my mom, I said, these cards now been kind of fused. I could talk to somebody and I see a tower card. Somebody about to have a tower moment. Okay. So your gifts are pretty much, you might be finding yourself heightened in your psychic abilities. Things of that, you're becoming more open. You got to become more light. So I'm now less on concentrating on him, more so on me, and on trying to hone in these gifts, get this mission together and this purpose together. Again, and I want to reiterate again, right now, just at the point of surrender right now. Again, love him with the utmost. Like I said, just God, love him from his hair follicles to his toenails. I stand on and I say that in front of whoever. But however, at this point where I'm at now, I am concentrating on what is going to bring me to my highest point in life, on my purpose and on my mission. At this point, right now, my mission is now is to help out you all, give you all things that I'm seeing that's on the videos, these patterns, and I'm seeing, and also giving you these kind of cards to kind of give you some warnings or some alerts of things, to seeing the patterns that's going on through the universe using the cards. Okay, all right there. So we got Cosmic Butterfly. That's the end of my rant, but I just feel like, I guess because I ain't got no classroom, I got to talk to somebody. All right, then the green turned green. Okay, all right, I know who you are. Okay, Ariel. All right, so anyway, so Cosmic Butterfly, that's number 36. I got my glasses just in case, so we don't do the famous squint squint. Cosmic Butterfly, you are being reborn from the pulsating womb of the Divine Mother. On fire with her creative power, you are being transformed whilst living. To surrender certainty in favor of openness to accept the smallest of your everyday life, whilst admitting to the magnificence of your being. To open up to the divine light that pours through you into a myriad of forms, endlessly creating, destroying, creating again. This is your sacred task. Life is thriving within you. This may not feel stable as yet, but will certainly feel exciting as you enter into your another cycle of rebirth. Let this life seem as though you are living many lifetimes in one. It is possible for you to encounter the totality of human experience in this lifetime, should you be open to it. This is treading the enlightened path, embracing all of life. You have chosen this for yourself and been blessed with it as possibility this lifetime. Why not let yourself be broken and reborn through the working of nature, another life within this one beckons you on now. The message for you from this oracle is that if your life feels like it is falling apart, then take heart, for it is falling apart to come back together in a new way. You are going through rebirth just like a butterfly in a chrysalis. The agony and the delight, the sense of dying and being truly alive, can all be held in the serene space of your heart. Surrender into what you are becoming now, and know that what you are leaving behind is but a shell that once will have held your fast emerging new self. The breeze of the butterfly wings caress the stillness of my thoughts and awakens feelings that course through my veins. Like the whale's song to the ocean's depth, there wells in me a knowing and a wonder for what is yet to be. I'm going to put this in here because I'm going to title this Cosmic Butterfly, which is true. And that's what I said. We're surrendering. That's funny they said that, surrendering and becoming the best version of ourselves. I've even went to the point that I've claimed myself as this is the summer of me for that, okay, as well. Very good. So I'm going to put that over to the side. So let's see what are the current energies for the divine. I'm trying to see where, because I placed this. Oh, here we go. This is them. Told you I got new cards, so we're going to look at the one from my divine masculine, divine feminine reunited card. Clear. I don't know why, but Lord have mercy, the thing is gone. I brought it down and the lens is popped out of the daggone thing. Okay, so what is going on for the overall energies for the Twin Flame Collective? Overall energies. I'm going to be looking down one eyeglass. That's all right. What are the overall energies for the Twin Flame Collective? What is the underall energies for the Twin Flame Collective? Okay, looked like it was last time these same cards out, but what came out different this time was miscommunication, but it's in reverse. So right now, I told you, the power switch has been come. I can see it clearly because that's also part of my gift. I can see things like a movie screen. I'm seeing two power poles with electricity going from both, from the right to the left, from the left to the right, and it's going back and forth. Now, when they turn on the electrical switch, it started from the masculine, and it shot over to the divine feminine, and the divine feminine shot it back to them, that electrical current going back and forth. So right now, it is so that the divine masculine is going to try to do some type of communication. It's going to start off with the divine masculine, and then it's going to reverberate back to divine feminine. Divine feminine is going to take that energy and throw it right back to the divine masculine, and that's going to keep that current going between both of them. Last week, I believe it was a miscommunication. Card was upright. They were looking at the numbers differently, so this time I'm picking up that they're saying, okay, yeah, I see the numbers 6 there in the between, but you know what, I'm gonna come to the point that, you know what, you see it as a 9, you see it as 6, and we're not looking at each other like that. It's like, okay, you know what, if I turn around, maybe I can see it as 6. And she said, yeah, when I turn around, maybe I can see it as a 9. So we're kind of at that kind of meeting of the minds. It's like, okay, I respect, like my mama said, I agree to disagree. So we're at that point that we're not having that miscommunication. We're kind of coming on there where we got that thing hitting the same way. That's the overall. The underall energy is we try to create balance. Yeah, okay, we trying to create balance. We can't have no miscommunication between us. So like I said, okay, we like that's fine. If you say tomato, I say tomato. You say potato, I say potato. Let's call the whole thing off. We're not gonna call the whole thing off. We in it, but let's stop calling the whole thing off. Let's go on with this back and forth with each other. Okay, on this we got other things that we could be messing with other than that. Okay, so now let's look at what is in, I don't know why I put that over there, clear. What is in the mind space of divine masculine? What is in the heart space of divine masculine? What is in the mind space of the divine feminine? Oh, wait, girl, you talking. Okay. And what is in the heart space of the divine feminine? So you doing a lot of talking. If I got time for all that talking. That's right. Divine feminine. What is in the heart space of divine feminine? I'm just playing with you. Okay, talk. What's in your heart space, divine feminine? Now she's trying to get sensitive. No, that's all right. You making fun of me now. I don't want to talk to you now. All right. Okay, so now what's in the mind space of divine masculine? It's the surrender. So, okay, we got here. So we really looking like we taking a vacation. We really learning how to balance things. This is balance. This is yoga, becoming one. Being grounded. You got to have that core, building that core. For you to be able to do this, you got to have a strong core. So he's really working on getting this core together. And this is a feminist. So in his emotions, he's really trying to get into the coreness, into the groundiness of his femininity, which would be his emotions. Really creating the balance here, because you're seeing that she's making sure, especially with the leg position, that you got to make sure that you're open, that you make sure you don't balance, teeter off and go too much forward, too much backwards. So too much going into the past, and too much going forward into the future. You got to balance yourself right there. So he's learning how to surrender in the moment, how to be in the now, as Eckhart Tolle says. I'm being in the now. I'm being right here. I'm being present. So he's in his emotions, trying to make sure he balances, and he's in the now, and he's balancing that out. Also, we see in this water, which is spirituality, with this calmness, the serenity, in this knowing, it's brighter days, it's clear skies, clouds are there, but it's not learning how to deal with the clouds that come in life. Balance, like a beach, learning how to relax in the moment while he's doing things. Also, right now, what's in his heart space is goddess of magic. I might find out what that's about. And grief and anger. Now, I know one of the readings, I think that was divine feminine, when she was in the karmic situation with the masculine. She was doing this. So right now, he's having some grief and anger. And I seen this in another video, and that's funny, this popped up, which means that he is grieving over just everything. He's grieving over if he's in a karmic situation. Remember, karmic situation, 3 things, person, place, a thing. Does always have to be in a relationship. He's grieving over that, not handling the karmic situation right, grieving over him lost and not really being with his divine feminine at this point. He's angry about how he's gotten to this point. He's having a lot of sleepless nights with this. His emotions, is being the feminine, the emotions playing a big part of this as well. It just really has been on his mind heavy. That it's just been a burden that he just can't get any kind of sleep. He's not all the way vulnerable. He's not naked all the way in his emotions here. He still got the top on and whatever. But he's barely clothed, which means he's stripping off of some of those egos that he's going on there. And he's got the pillow here, which means he's trying to really find a soft place to land to really relax his mind if he can, but it's not there. It's just so heavy on his mind. I'm going to find out what is this Isis. This God. Yes, say Isis, goddess of magic, number 3. Goddess number 3. Okay, I have come through today to bring forward the energy of the ancient divine feminine magic. I am available to all women who are here walking the earth at the time, reclaiming their title of creatrix. The way I have been depicted within this deck shows an important part of my story. I am shown moments before I found my beloved Orsis after his death, when I covered that he had been murdered, grief took over. To this day, legend still states that my tears filled the Nile. This is an accurate representation of how much despair I felt. I felt that grief deeply. I used the emotions as creative fuel and roamed Egypt until I found my beloved and brought him back to life with the strength of my feminine power. As you read these words, something is gently stirring within you, a remembrance of your magical power, of who you really are. The healing arts have been stripped away from women from eons and eons through the fall of consciousness. We are now entering a time where it is becoming safer and safer to hold this power again. I ask you to work on using your situation and its emotions as fuel to catapult you onto a new path of creation and healing for yourself and others. You are now free to be seen, to come out of the woodwork and hold your magical abilities with strength. Okay, so what I'm picking up from this is right now he's having the dark night of the soul, the divine masculine. That moment, if it hasn't came, it's on its way. He's really thinking. He has got to come to the point that this ego has got to die. Out of this death, which you always said grief, that's understandable, that's eerie in some ways, but it's a connection that we talk about grief and anger, and that she said that she had bad grief and anger took over her once her beloved Osiris had died. One of the videos I know they had said that you got to the point that the divine feminine has got to kind of really give the impression that, you know, it's over, or you got to really repool all your resources, your energy, so that the divine masculine can come towards you. If he feels like you either like finding a job to go move to another city, or some kind of way is threatening that the connection that he won't be able to get in touch with you or whatever like that, that's going to be kind of deaf, and that's going to bring on grief, and that's going to help him to rebirth. Like she said, she rebirthed the Nile, the Egypt, everything like that, and stirred it up because of magical powers. He's got to get to the point, he's going to get to the point that he's going to make some changes. He's going to manifest some things to create some changes where he is in his consciousness, even in his physical world environment. He's getting to the point that he's letting him know it's safe for me to feel these ways with these emotions, and take these emotions and catapult yourself and fuel you onto a new path, okay, no matter what's going on. That's what's going on with the divine masculine. For the divine feminine, in her mind space, is she wants to have an openness. So right now I'm seeing here, she's got to have openness of how this union and reunion is going to look. Right now, has two men here, which is divine masculine. You could say that you got it might look differently how you all are coming together. In that way, both of you all, just like I told in the other video, both of you all have got to get to the point that you are analyzing the situation for what it is as a divine masculine, knowing how to maneuver, what's the next step, so you can bring on this new dawn. You're going to have to get to the point that you're going to have to put the emotions to the side and really think about how you're going to move these chess pieces so that you can get control of that queen or knight or whatever way it is in chess. Okay, so this is what she's on. Unconditional love. In her mind space right now, when she thinks about the divine masculine, she is really thinking about being unconditional love. You know, like times Daniel Boone always pictures like he's like, you know, your divine counterpart, your divine masculine is like your child. They don't know a lot of things, and a lot of times they look at you to show them how to do things. You got to nurture them. You got to, you know, give them that tough love when they need it, you know, and you got to kind of baby and nurture them like that. And that's why I said earlier in the video, right now, you got to kind of nurture that. When it comes to them unconditional this week, you got to come from a nurturing standpoint. It ain't no tough love and pop, pop, pop right now, because they're at a real sensitive, crucial thing where they're trying to get in touch with their emotions, and they might be reaching out to you. And if you do that, where they reaching out and you doing that, pop that hand, say, oh, okay, then they're going to say, no, I don't feel like I'm going to reach out to you anymore, because I try to reach out to you emotionally, and this is what you did. You popped my hand, you know. So you see her being nurtured. She's breastfeeding, just holding and cradling the baby. Also, you might be saying, if you got any kind of feminine relatives or feminine friends or anybody in your circle that maybe you need to kind of give that extra nurturing to. Somebody in your circle, I'm picking this up, also divine feminine, you might have to kind of nurture. If you got a daughter, whatever like that, you might have to find yourself kind of practicing a little bit more unconditional love with them. We got Achilles. God is God of vulnerability. I just said that. Your divine masculine is at the point that he is vulnerable. You've got to practice unconditional love with him. This is not the time of the week. Next week it might change. You might have to pop that hand if he come towards you. But this week we're going to do practice being vulnerable, showing that unconditional love to that divine masculine. You see him, he's a goddess war. God's war is, you know, he's the like the true Aries. I'm ready to battle. It's time to get froggy. It's time to get it on. They're putting right down, you see right there, he's putting the sword and the helmet down. And he's just revealing himself underneath all that armor. Told you about the military, how they have the emotions. So this week, the divine masculine is feminine. You got to look at them. They're putting that armor down. And this time, while you putting that armor down, this is your time to go into the divine masculine mode and analyze and strategize and say, okay, what's my next move? I must play the emotional, the nurturing mother. I'm going to embody Mother Gaia with you, and the feminine, divine feminine goddess within me, and I'm going to nurture you, but I'm also going to be watching and seeing what is it that you try to portray through this as well, through these actions. That's that. Also, energy. You got to also, do you see her saying, again, like I said, give yourself time out, give your borders. Okay, I done played with the divine masculine for a little while, then now I got to go recharge my battery. Just like I said, go and find ways in which you go out into to nurture nature and nurture yourself in nature. That's true. Doing that, find some things to kind of recharge your back, get your chakras back in line, do things. You need to go Reiki healing, do some yoga, do some, again, supplemental messages. You listen to sleep meditation, those things. Recharge your own battery, because at this point we're going to need that so we can bring that inner goddess to the forefront. Okay, what's in her heart space is this codependency. Some of us still got to deal with some of those codependency issues as well. We want that marriage. We are codependent, and some of them have said that, and I've seen it in all of the videos, is what they said, we got to give up the thought of the twin flame union. Just release it and surrender. It's going to happen, but we don't need to keep on in that forefront like we are chasing the proverbial carrot all the time. Like the greyhound my parents used to take me out for races. We seen the greyhounds, and they would be running. They had that carrot. I know what they got that carrot in front of them now. They're like, well, that's the way they get in the run, because either got the carrot or they got the rabbit in front of them, and the rabbit, they would chase the rabbit around the track, and that would keep them, going. Okay, so we don't need to be doing that. After a while, you say, listen, I ain't no greyhound on this track here called the Twin Flame Journey. Let me go ahead and do my stuff, my inner work, recharge my battery, so I can create this balance and practice unconditional love with those people around me, okay, and have this openness as to how this twin flame journey is going to come about. And then let go of this. To me, I'm not even saying codependent on that. Some of you all might be. I think codependent on the dream of the twin flame union. So let that go. God of love. Okay, I'm not even going to try to pronunciate this. I'm going to look it up and see what is he trying to reveal. You know that you are the God of love. And let me see what my strike. And the number is 11 on that. So that's twin flame. So that's good. Okay. Okay. Convum speaks. Traditionally, I am the African god of creation. You may not expect me to be the God of love. I do, in fact, carry forward the divine masculine energy of a deep, profound love shown in a way that is perfectly aligned with being on the physical plane. I ask you, now this is what I went through before. The divine masculine is doing the work, but on the surface, he don't look like he's doing anything, but underneath, he is. And like he said, he does not look like the traditional, what you would think would be the God of love. And that same thing, like I told you, have openness as to how your divine masculine is going to appear or come up. Okay? I ask you to really observe the behaviors of those around you. It is sad, but common predicament in your current society for people to misinterpret gestures of love completely. That's what I told you. Read in between this, like my mom said, read in between the lines. I just told you that. Just as I am shown bringing forward the gains of my hunt for my tribe, those around you are potentially extending you gestures of love that are easily overlooked. Gestures of love are varied as the vast amount of souls incarnate on your plane. Learn about the ways you personally interpret love. Discover how you personally show love. Is it possible that those around you interpret love and show love in different ways to you? And conversely, do they need to be shown love in other ways to understand it? Us viewing interactions from spirit can see that often it is as if you are speaking German to a loved one who is Spanish speaking. The love is there, it is being shown but not being understood. The energy of love behind the gesture is of more value than the gesture itself, which is interesting because the other day my mom and I had gotten to kind of like a discussion about, I said, you didn't show physical love. And she was saying that, yes, I do show physical. I be hugging the doctor and the this and that and whatever. And I was like, she said, I'm very loving physically. And I was like, yeah. However, but I'm telling you that when it comes to in-house, like people this here, you don't do the physical that. I say, no, you're not that type of a mother that would rub the back and say, ooh, baby's all right, and hug and just hold your hand and just grab it just from any kind. I say from that, I say you have not expressed that. But however, when we got into the conversation, long story short, she's like, well, the way, I asked about how your day is going, how you do this. And so when it came about it was that she showed love, and it came to it that she showed love in a different way. She wasn't a touchy, physical kind of thing. Her things is more my words and my gestures show that I love you. And that's true, and she does. She's the world's best mom. Still don't put past with how she is on that. But like I said, that part, no, she does not. But that does not mean that I don't feel that I'm loved from her. She just is not that. And then I said in turn, that helps me to know why maybe I don't express physical as well, but I do that in my class because my kids force me to, and then I've also learned how to express that even outside from different being a member of an organization. They're more so touchy feeling, hey, how you doing, and that stuff. And so I have learned to, and then after I thought about it, I said, no, we don't. So going back to that, you got to remember about the 5 languages of love, just like me and my divine counterpart more. I think with him, my thing is time. The 5 languages of love is time, and listening to me is important. Okay, him is not the same thing. His thing is giving. I think listening would be it too, because he could kind of tell like you ain't listening to me, and he correct you on that. Not too much on communication. That don't bother him as much. Yeah, and the time does. Giving the time does him as well. It depends. It varies with him. So my thing is we speak different languages, so we got to kind of know. It's like, okay, I done gave already. You want me to get some more. It's in different things. It be physical, tangible things like that, you know, and the man say, okay, I'm tapped out, that's enough for me. And when I say that's enough for me, then to him it equates, oh, well, she don't love me. So that's the difference. You see that. So look at the 5 languages of love. So you got to make sure that you're speaking the same language, and you'll find that out. That is sometimes, in some ways, person swears by God they are expressing love, but you look at it and say, well, that ain't love. You don't touch me and hug me and grab my hand, rub my back. You know, that part it's a different thing. Like she was saying, I say, yes, I do. And, you know, you say, well, that ain't really love. I like the physical thing. So you have to find a way to kind of draw upon, like you say, we express, you got to learn. Again, read between the lines. You've got to learn a person and say, okay, you know, this person ain't that physically, but when she talks to me, do you feel love? Yes. Okay, well, then I'm love. You know that. Maybe down the course I could teach her some ways. Maybe that's where you fall in. Okay, the hug, rub, grab the hand, do things to kind of introduce about love. It's some other things. That's her own personal journey that I will not share with her. Why I do know why that turned and flipped and why that doesn't be expressed. But sometimes things in life and people's things and experiences that they have in love have turned them from not being able to express a certain love language in life. Okay. Let's get some other things about what are some things that they got to learn to surrender. Clear. What are some things that they have to learn to surrender? Okay, I'm going to put the overall O and the raw right here. Got that. Got that. I don't need to clarify because that was very much so on that one. So let's see what they got to surrender. What does the masculine have to surrender? All right. Okay, and what does the divine feminine have to surrender? Okay. All right. And isn't that funny? And it fell on the divine feminine side. Interesting. All right. Winning. The divine masculine has to surrender joy, which is a key to positive change in your life is to let joy in and savor it. Indulge in random acts of smiling. Ain't this funny? During both the hard and easy times, keep surrendering to more joy. Okay, that's the inside joke about that smile between divine masculine and I. So that's interesting. And surrender the idea you can fix someone. It's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing. Okay, this could go 2 ways. This could be if he's in a karmic situation. Maybe he's in figuring, you know, things going to change. I'm going to think positive. I'm going to be optimistic about this. She going to change this karmic or this karmic situation going to change. And it's like, you know, like I say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, if it's broke, and it's broke, and you know it's broke, it's time to let it go. And you know that you can't fix. It's not your job to fix people. You can't do anything when people are not doing right or they know something's not right within themselves. They have got to come to the point that they create that change. That's not for you to do that. That's why you have to surrender that. Okay. I'm curious to know what is this joy. I'm going to ask life changes. What is a change? What do they need to change as far as surrendering to joy? I'm going to ask this because Spirit told me to bring this out. So joy in the positive spiritual growth. So that's what they got to fix. The spiritual growth. Because, you know, this twin flame thing is challenging. And you got to become like that butterfly, in which is growing. Open up that chrysalis coming out of that and becoming a full grown. So to find your joy, you got to find through that spiritual growth and growing pains. What do they need to surrender? The idea you can fix someone was that they got to surrender into that. 2 cards came up. you are stronger than you know. So he's stronger to get out of this situation, whatever this karmic situation. But he doesn't believe that he is, so he could become this butterfly. And then also